How you doing? How you doing? This is Reverend Wayne S. Pierce for the Wayne S. Pierce Show on a Thursday. Holy crap. On a Thursday? Oh, don't worry. I'll be here tomorrow at 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 Eastern. Just got a whole lot of stuff to talk about. Especially to the residents in Nevada. So, you elected somebody out of a little tiny town in Nevada to be your Senate Majority Leader, and he says what he says, you know?
Huh? Oh, so it's you again.
So anyway, go to the Wayne S. Pierce Show Facebook page, and I'll tell you what I'm talking about. First of all, a little shout out to Mr. Spencer Hughes. Yes. You want your photography done by a very, very good photographer? Go to SpencerHughesPhotography.com. Check it out. Anyway, Mr. Harry Reid, born in Searchlight, Nevada, raised I don't know where. Harry Reid tells Senate colleagues to sit down and shut up. You mean he actually told people to shut up? Well, there's a video. But I'm not going to play the video. I'll play it on the Views Express today at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 Eastern. But I'll tell you, it says here that Senate Majority Leader Harry Reid, Democrat of Nevada, scolded his colleagues after the president of the Senate could not get order in the chamber on Thursday. Reid said, "Sit down and shut up." Really? Did he have to go there? Did he? Oh, yes, he did. Because that's what Democrats do. They bully you. Oh, no. You're all probably, don't bash the Democrats. Oh, I'll bash them and the Republicans. I'm neither one, so it don't matter to me. I just know that this whole two-party system, this paradigm that we seem to be living in is a total farce. Total made-up fraud with inept people that think they know what they're doing. Well, can you do any better? No, I can vote these people out of office, though. Let's just say the people must stand up and say enough's enough, because if they don't, yeah. You know, I had an interview yesterday with Nick Tucker from Distorted Reality Radio, and we spent an hour talking about everything that's going on. And, he encourages his listeners to his show to, just say enough's enough. Stand up. I go a little bit farther than that, and I say, if you ain't got the balls to do it, you know what? Sorry. We'll be waving at you, as Nick Tucker said yesterday. We'll be waving at you. You'll be inside the FEMA camp. We'll be waving at you going, I told you so. Okay. We'll be on our way to survival and surviving this mess. Hey, don't blame Obama. He's the majority of the problem. But Bush did it. Clinton did it. It goes back to King Bush II. Probably back to his daddy, King Bush I. Anyway. Folks, I'm here today for I don't know how long. Who knows? I'm here long enough. Let's put it that way. So get your head out of your ass and let's fight for freedom, shall we? I'll be back after this. Want to know what's happening all around us? You do? Great! Come check out the Diana and Wayne's Grab Bag Potpourri Talk Show, Friday nights at 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern, right here on Spreaker.com. Forever Me by Thomas Amo. Hannah Richards isn't your typical 16-year-old at Wichita Falls High. Fashion, trends, cosmetic, and style are unimportant to her. An avid reader, guitar player, and classic movie and television buff, Hannah marches to the beat of her own drum. Visible only to her father, the town sheriff, and her two best friends, Lauren and Haley, Hannah lives a simple, unpampered life as an Eastie. After coming to the aid of Taylor Monroe, a popular member of the Stilettos at school, and a series of misunderstandings with her friends, Hannah is forced to reinvent herself. She quickly gets caught up in a life much different than the one she knows, where status, glamour, makeup, and appearance and acceptance become her masters. And what of the dark secret that haunts the streets of Wichita Falls? Can Hannah survive the lies, deceit, jealousy, and rage that are now waiting for her around every corner? Will she succumb to the pressures of popularity? Or will she be crushed under the heels of the Stilettos? High school is hard enough just being yourself, let alone trying to be someone you're not. Forever Me by Thomas Amo. Available on the Kindle at Amazon.com.
Listen to DJ Russ on Rap More Than Words, with songs like the Black Eyed Peas' Don't Stop the Party.
This is that original. This has no identical. You can't hack my digital. Future aboriginal.
And Flo Rida, Let It Roll.
Good time, go home. Come on, baby, let the good time go home. Come on, baby, let the good time go home. Come on, baby.
And many more of your rap hits right here on Spreaker.com.
How you doing? This is Reverend Wayne S. Pierce for the Wayne S. Pierce Show. Yes, I know it's a Thursday. That's all right. I'll come on anytime I want. Actually, no, the schedule is Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern. But I decided to pop on in here anyway. So there you go. It's the 1st of August, 2013. And I'm glad you're all here. Or listening on the podcast somewhere in the world. I'm so glad you listen. What can I say? Hey, hope you're having a good August so far. It's August 1st. Let's go to the Wayne S. Pierce Show Facebook page, shall we? If you would like. It's quite all right for you. Anyway, I talked about Harry Reid. You want your politician to tell his colleagues to sit down and shut up? Well, that's exactly what he did. Go check it out on the Wayne S. Pierce Show Facebook page. Also, George Will, famous author, editorial writer, stuff like that, commentator, said that Detroit doesn't have a fiscal problem, but a cultural collapse. Huh, really? What did he say? He said, quote, "Can't solve the problems because the problems are cultural," Will said. You have a city of 139 square miles. You can graze cattle in vast portions of it. Dangerous herds of feral dogs roam in there. You have 3% of fourth graders reading at national math standards. 47% of Detroit residents are functionally illiterate. 79% of Detroit children are born to unmarried mothers. They don't have a fiscal problem. They have a cultural collapse, which is absolutely true. They've got $18 billion in the hole. Let's see. Shall we say somebody overspent? You know, of course, one of their mayors in Detroit went to jail for corruption charges. The other one, I don't know. I mean, just since 2000, I think half of the population of Detroit left because it's so bad. It's cultural. I always say this. Your environment, where you grew up, who teaches you whatever, grandma, grandpa, uncles, aunts, whatever. Your environment teaches you. You are the sum of the environment. Your education is the result of the culture in that environment, period. You are the one that is responsible for you to break out of your little cultural paradigm and see what else is out there. It's kind of like kicking a bird out of the nest. But with that, somebody kicked you out. You need to take the responsibility in the reins and say, wait a minute, how come I'm being taught this over and over and over, and I just get this feeling that there's something else. I did that in the 6th grade, 7th grade. When I was growing up in Stockton, California, I thought something's amiss here. Something is not quite right. It doesn't balance out. So I began to do some research. 12 years old, yes. I was well ahead of my grade. I was well ahead of my classmates intellectually. And I just went from there. By the time I got into high school, I'm going, God, all the stuff they teach you in the textbooks, this was back in the 70s, it's all wrong. It's all wrong. They're covering it up. They're sweeping it under the rug. But now here's Detroit, $18 billion in the hole. Here's Stockton filing bankruptcy. Here's a lot of cities across the U.S. filing bankruptcy or in courts trying to keep their bill collectors off their neck. And, they're going under. There's look at 2008, prior to President Obama entering office. George Bush signed a $867 billion bailout plan. He could have gave every single person in America, there was over 300 million people at that time, $100,000, and it wouldn't have added up, to the mess that we have now. And those people could have went out and started businesses and, increased the economy in their local areas, which, of course, exponentially would have done a great service to the state. But no. Democrats decided to hold up a lot of Republican, legislation and vice versa. And, we're sitting here in a $17 trillion national debt, an $18 billion debt in Detroit, and another $10 billion or $10 million, something, I don't know what it is, in Stockton, where I grew up. This country doesn't have, any other problems that are more than their stupid spending problems. I think the last figure I looked at, it was over 67 or 70, something like that. It was somewhere around in there. Across the nation, over 60% or something like that of the cost of the states are in, guess what? Hello? Public and private unions. Go look at it. That is your downfall right there. By the way, you want something else that's cultural? Back in the 30s, Taft-Hartley Act, go look that up. 1947, actually. But prior to that, President William Taft and a lot of his little people, his minions of that day, were talking about, hey, if we disguised socialism with this idea of people have a right to work, and to give them a choice of whether or not they don't have to join a union, we can give them that as well. Right to work states are a violation of every known ethics there is, and are only out to destroy unions because the socialists in office, by the way, there were 5 of them, President Obama being the 5th one that I know of, that want socialism, communism, dictatorship in America. Okay? Think about that. Right to work state destroys unions. People want to unify to get better living, better benefits. You know the tune. You've heard it before. But you want a cultural shock? There's your war in economics right there. You've got politicians who are socialist communist at heart that want a right to work state, want a dictatorship in every single state of the U.S., which now there are 24 right to work states. So they're halfway there almost. And then you have the other side saying people need to unify, unionize to come together to make it right, to get better pay, blah, 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 blah. Let me throw you another little economic bone here. If the company's not making money because we outsourced all the work under NAFTA and GATT, and now it's CAFCA, I think it is, the Colombian Fair Trade Agreement. Companies here in America ain't making the money. What once was the biggest employer in the country, being Detroit and the auto companies and all this, and it was great and it was wonderful, guess what? $20 billion to send GM over to China? Yeah, folks, your tax dollars helped in that, by the way. So, people are going to tell me that... people are going to tell me I'm wrong. How about looking up the figures yourself? What is your major malfunction, numbnuts? Can you not open a book? Can you not do some research? No? Oh, I know why. Don't! Because you don't want to. Your little comfort zone has, look, I have my Ice-T, I have my ESPN, I have my reality shows, I have gossip coming out of Hollywood. Oh, look, it's football. Oh, look, Kim Kardashian. Oh, look. There's nothing wrong. Really? You people are so freaking blind. I know that's harsh. You hate me talking like that? Free America Radio at USA.com. What? Didn't get that? Free America Radio at USA.com. Ask me any question you like. No question is off limits. You got something that you're pissed off about what I said? Go ahead. Send me the nasty grams. Trust me, growing up in Stockton, California and telling people exactly what I'm telling you for many years, boy, I've heard everything. Let me trying to help, putting all of this together to try and enlighten you and educate you. And if you don't want it, then your next step is wiping your feet off on the welcome mat at the FEMA camp near you. You don't believe they're out there? Think again. Anyway, Wayne S. Pierce Show on Facebook. Please go there. Again, email me, freeamericaradio at USA.com. Freeamericaradio at USA.com. Got a picture here of a veteran with prosthetics from asheepnomore.net. Al-Qaeda, Al-Qaeda, Taliban, another government creation, receive U.S. government contracts despite being sworn enemies. Big example of that in history is Prescott Bush. Yes, the father and grandfather of two of our presidents. Was in Germany. Had businesses that he invested in, that he ran, matter of fact. Was put in charge of in Germany during the war, helping the Germans build their military industrial complex. Yeah, go check it out. It's all in history. Prescott Bush. Check that out. Thousands of U.S. soldiers have been killed in combat fighting the Taliban and Al-Qaeda, yet those same enemies are receiving your tax dollars. With all the recent news, it should be obvious to you, all of this is staged and a part of a much larger plan. Okay? So, when you're sitting there, yelling at me and telling me that Glenn Beck and Alex Jones and Michael Savage and all that, you just don't trust them, you don't like them, you don't, when you're looking at people like that, then you go over to faux news and you listen to people like, over there, or you go to MSNBC and you listen to Joe Scarborough and Mika Brzezinski. Remember that name because her father is Zbigniew Brzezinski. Hello? Go check that out. And you listen to all these bobbleheads on TV regurgitating the script out of Washington, D.C. from the, propaganda office up there. Yeah, when you're doing all that and yelling at me and telling me I'm wrong, remember, you have to look at yourself in the mirror every morning, as I do. But see, I've got an advantage over you. I sleep well. Okay? I sleep well. I don't know about you, but I do. Okay. So anyway, hey, we're going to take a short little break. It ain't going to be long. It's not going to be long. Don't worry about it. I'll be right back. Email me, freeamericaradio@usa.com. Go to freeamericaradio.weebly.com or Free America Radio on Facebook. Talk to you in a bit. War is peace. Freedom is slavery. Ignorance is strength. That is from 1984 by George Orwell. Do you really want to know what's going on? Come listen to The Views Express, Monday through Friday, 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern, only on the Liberty and Freedom Network.
Samo Radio, playing music for free so you can listen longer. Samo.
It's the 5 o'clock drive with Samo.
Monday through Friday, 5 p.m. till 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
What's on your mind? Chances are it's on their mind too. Check out Diana and Wayne's Grab Bag Potpourri Talk Show. Friday evenings at 8 p.m. Pacific, 11 p.m. Eastern. Only on Spreaker.com. Get your morning started with the Morning Brew on 92.6 The Blitz. Music from the 60s, 70s, and more. The Blitz 92.6. Go to radiorocktheblitz.blogspot.com. Reverend Wayne S. Pierce, right here for the Wayne S. Pierce Show. I know that I'm on Thursday. I'm usually on Fridays. Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 Eastern. But I thought I'd pop in here because, like I said before, the show is changing. This show and the Views Express Live. And like I said yesterday, when Brian Keller called in on the Views Express, I'm combining the shows. I haven't yet figured out a time to put it on. So you're going to have to let me know what a good time is for you. When do you listen the most? You know, that kind of thing. Even if you're listening on the podcast, it's cool, man. It's cool. We can still do that. But I need to know from you what a good time is, you know, all that. Anyway, shows are combining. I may just go 3 hours instead of the 2, you know. I don't know. I'm still working out the details. So until I get all the details worked out, you're still going to hear 2 shows. The Views Expressed, live, Monday through Friday, 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern. And also the Wayne S. Pierce Show, Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 Eastern. But again, I'm combining those shows, and hey, more to come. You got to keep listening to find out more. Go to freeamericaradio.weebly.com for more information. Also, this show's website is thewaynespearceshow.weebly.com. thewaynespearceshow.weebly.com. Check out more information there as well. Just a lot going on. I'm a firm believer that people are pretty good to themselves. You know, they know what they want. People know what they want. It's pretty easy to figure out, you know? And it's pretty easy to figure out that when you're out walking around paying bills, whatever you're doing, you know, out at the mall, walking around a park, whatever, and you meet people and you see people, it's pretty easy to figure out who's really not all there. In other words, they don't know the whole story. They don't know what's going on. They don't watch the news. They don't do... In other words, they don't have an opinion on what is happening. And I think the sad part of that commentary is the fact that as they live their lives, they're not going to know much. And those are the people that the New World Order is zeroing in on. Those people are in the crosshairs, and they're going to get picked off, intellectually speaking. And they're going to be the ones that are going to believe that Obama's okay and everything's fine, and, you know, and get this, 4th trimester abortions are good. And, oh yeah, Mark Dice went out again and was asking, or somebody did. I think it was Mark Dice. And he went out and asked. And I got to tell you, I've said it before, I'll say it again. People are stupid. People are really, really stupid. You know, when you don't know the issues, when you're not aware of what's going on, when you have no idea, and you open your mouth, people will know that you have no idea. Okay. When you walk, here's the comparison. Have you ever been around a mall? You know, I'll get into this here in a bit, but there's just so much stuff going on. I'll be back right after this.
Join the National Down Syndrome Society's My Great Story campaign
to honor and celebrate the amazing stories of the 400,000 Americans with Down syndrome.
If you have Down syndrome, tell us about your achievements, dreams, and aspirations.
If you know someone who has Down syndrome, tell us how they've inspired you.
Visit ndss.org/stories to share your great story.
From politics to pop culture, current events and human interest stories, and even the paranormal, an eclectic radio adventure, he discusses it all and takes your calls. He's Spencer Hughes, on The Spencer Hughes Show on blogtalkradio.com. Program note right here. The Spencer Hughes Show is on Spreaker.com. Yes, when he does a live show, it's here. But you can listen to his podcast and commentaries over at SpencerHughes.net. That's SpencerHughes.net.
Misfit is a misfit.
Samo.
Ignorant of hygiene, destructive, disorderly, and totally disrespectful.
It's the 5:15 with Samo on Samo Radio.
AM 1700 Daytona Beach, Holly Hill.
And SouthNet 1.
Hey, folks, I'm back. Thank you very much for tuning in to the Wayne S. Pierce Show. I know it's on a Thursday, and it's kind of odd to be hearing me on a Thursday, but here is a problem that I find interesting. Here we are. We've got a whole bunch of people, arguing. And, when you go out to the mall and you're walking around and you can just look and go, oh, my God, that person has no clue. I mean, seriously, he's just looking and there. And here's a contrast and comparison, folks. Remember 20 years ago, 30 years ago, let's just say when you were in school and you're my age, and yesterday I just, had a birthday, and I'm not shy to say I'm 51. And 30 years ago, whatever it was, remember when you would look at older adults and go, man, they're just stupid. They just have no idea. Right? Remember that? The older adults, they just don't know. Really? Have you talked to your grandmother? Have you talked to your father? Do you have kids? Do they talk to you? Everything is abbreviated now. Here's the contrast and comparison. When you're walking around the mall, wherever you're living, or you go to the store, or you're shopping, or you're doing something, and you hear these kids, or you look at these kids, what are they doing? They're plugged into the matrix. They're plugged in to the system, I like to call it. You and I have been unplugged for many, many years because we know what's going on, and we know the tyranny, and we know the criminal activity out of Washington, D.C., or at least we should, right? I do, and I'm just trying to enlighten people that it is. And so they're so plugged in. But what do you get when you're walking through, a big store and you're shopping and everything, and you hear kids screaming, and you look over and you see a 6 or a 7-year-old throwing a tantrum because they can't get what they want? What's the first reaction you have? Why doesn't that parent take care of it? Why? Well, because they're just as dumbed down as, the kid is because of how they grew up. In other words, I can look at people my age and younger, maybe 10 years younger, and say, we get it. I look at people who are much younger than that, who are in their 30s and 20s, and they look at me like, well, what's so wrong with socialism? What's so wrong with having the government take care of us? What? Excuse me? What the government giveth, the government can taketh away. That's what's wrong. What, you don't know? You don't know anything about communism, about socialism, about fascism, and how destructive it truly is? Even how much more destructive it is with criminal minds in leadership? See, this is the problem. This is the major problem. Okay? We have a situation which we look at and we see and we judge and we assess the situation and we go, what do? And 9 times out of 10, I'll be a little more conservative. About 75% of the time, there are people out there going, I have no idea. What do we do? I don't know. Let the government take care of it. They did take care of it. That's why you're in the mess you're in now. What kind of insanity do you have to be in to allow the criminal government to take care of whatever it is you think they should be taking care of? I don't get it. I really don't. I mean, there are people out there who are absolutely, totally out of their ever-loving minds to think that the government is anywhere near on their side. Oh, listen up, you minions of Obama. You Obamniacs. There we go. How about that? Obamniacs. It's a new word I just created. Think about this. They're going to look at you and they're going to chew you up and spit you out just as much as they are the people underneath of you. So you want to side with a system that's going to chew you up and spit you out? Go ahead. Make their day. Because that's exactly what they're going to do. That's exactly what they're going to do, because you see it in history all the time. You go to Roman Empire, the Nazi Empire, the British Empire. They had corrupt leaders throughout their history. Their governments collapsed. They were rebuilt, except for the Roman Empire. They were so corrupt they couldn't rebuild. It was that bad. They couldn't rebuild. Egypt took them over, or not Egypt, I shouldn't say, the Romans and the Roman, empire took over Egypt, and so, kind of incorporated everything together. And now, you can go, and now look what happened here within this past year. Look at what's happening in Greece. Look at what's happening in those European countries. It's all collapsing. Why? Overspending, corrupt individuals, wanting more power, and they get it at the expense of the little guy, and even the people that follow them. They kick them out and chew them up and spit them out. Look at all the whistleblowers that have come out. Look at all these people, who knew the truth behind what happened on the raid, supposedly, of bin Laden's compound. SEAL Team 6 was cut down. Why? Because they knew the truth. Other people coming out. Michael Hastings, reporter for Rolling Stones, boom, knew the truth and was killed. Ambassador Stevens over there in Benghazi and the three other people that were with him knew the truth, saw it happening in front of them, going, wait a minute, we're in over our heads. We got to get out of here. We got to stop this. We got to tell somebody. And right when that word got out that he wanted to go do that, well, guess what happened? And I believe some of the reports that are out saying that President Obama was the one that called for the stand down, and all the generals and people that were not even, a half hour away, 15 minutes away, 10 minutes away, whatever it was, they said, no, we're not going to stand down. And they said, yes, you are. If you know what's good for you. Same thing with Vice President Dick Cheney in 9/11, 2001. Told the military to stand down. It was a drill, quote unquote, that went live. So anybody that looks at any of this and says, well, you're just a conspiracy theorist. You don't know what goes on. You're not there. No, but I can read the reports. I can read the white papers. I can read the university studies. I can look at all the government papers from GOV sites. The White House, GOV, the UN.org. I mean, all these, websites. Yeah, but you can't believe everything on the web. Really? Then let me just make this blanket statement. Anybody that disagrees with me is going to have to do their own research and prove to me why you think you're right. Period. End of sentence. Don't like that blanket statement? Doesn't really matter to me. The burden of proof is now on you. Going to tell me I'm wrong? The burden of proof is on you. And that's why I say, prove yourself right. I know in my gut. I know from the reports that I see. I know from the documents that I have that this is all a charade. It's all a fraud. False flag events all over the place. Not only look at Newtown, Connecticut, not only look at Boston, not only look at Benghazi, not only look at the European collapse, but look what's behind it. Look what they're trying to distract you from by putting all of this in front of you. Then you tell me whether or not I'm a conspiracy theorist. The blanket statement is out there. Don't call me a conspiracy theorist and tell me I'm wrong without you having to back up your claims. You ain't got it. You never have. You never will. And I know exactly what you're going to do. You're going to go find everything negative. You're going to find everything opposite of what I say and tell me that that's the truth. No, you're wrong. Prove yourself right. You can't. Don't bother. I know the truth. And that's what I bring to this show. The truth, one fact at a time. So on upcoming shows, I'm going to lay out certain things, break down certain things, and I'm going to tell you exactly what you need to know so that you can go out and do the research on your own to prove yourself right that I'm wrong. Whether or not you come to me and say that I'm wrong or not, it doesn't really bother me because I've had people cuss me up one side down the other and call me every name in a book and make up a few. So there's nothing I haven't heard. There's nothing you're going to tell me that I haven't already heard. There's no research material that you're going to give me that I haven't already read or got some news about that I'm going to read. Okay? You can also go and listen to Nick Tucker's podcast, Distorted Reality with Nick Tucker, distortedreality.podbean.com. You can go listen to what he says and then, chalk it up to your own ignorance and just accept the fact that you don't know and go from there. Over 25 years ago, I had to do that. I would interrupt people in conversations and say, yeah, but this and yeah, but that. You know what? That not only annoyed the crap out of other people, that really pissed me off too because nobody wanted to talk to me anymore. Then I thought, wait a minute, I have to change things here. And instead of just mouthing off with knee-jerk reactions, I began to listen. And I kept it in my head. I kept my mouth shut and learned. And once I acquired that knowledge, I couldn't hold it in anymore. They would say something, and I would think, is that true? So I went out and checked it out. And guess what? I found out that everything that I was telling people prior to, backing down and shutting up and going out and researching it myself, guess what? I was wrong. And I fully admit that. And that's why I can say if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'll admit to it. I'm not, but if I am, and if I find out I am, I'm okay with that. Are you? I'm wrong because, I could be wrong in some areas, and I'm wrong in some areas because I don't know everything, and neither do you. So do yourself a favor and shut your big damn pie hole and start doing some research and get up out of your big old easy chair and put down your beer and start getting a brain in your head and learning about this stuff, because I did over 35 years ago while I was a junior in high school. So I don't want to hear it anymore. You guys think I'm wrong? You naysayers and skeptics and all you people out there, you think I'm wrong? Free America Radio at USA.com. Free America Radio at USA.com. Every time I tell people that, they never email me because they know I'm right. But for you people who are fully awake and aware and like us, like me, who are, free Americans loving liberty, defending the Constitution like myself and Nick Tucker and Alex Jones and Glenn Beck and Michael Savage and all of that and Rush Limbaugh and all this, let me tell you something. I give you people a high five. I shouldn't be so harsh on the people that don't know. I shouldn't tell them to go, to the naysayers and skeptics that they need to prove themselves right. Because you know why? And it's real simple. I'll spell it out for you here. It's called preconceived ideas. Let's go back to the beginning of the show. When I said that we are the product of our environment, our teachers, our cousins, aunts, uncles, moms, dads, everything along the way, when we had to question that because something inside of us was telling you that doesn't seem right, but we would question authority. And what's the response? Don't question authority. Guess what? Everything that authority does, quote unquote, authority, whatever that authority is, I'm going to question. Don't like it? Bye. Have a nice day. Okay. It's just that, I don't know what to tell you. I really don't. Go to the Wayne S. Pierce Show on Facebook. Go there and I will go on down here and tell you that, there's not much there, but go to Free America Radio on Facebook. How's that? Free America Radio. I'll give you a preview of what's coming up today on the Views Express Live. I want to give another shout out to the one and only Tom Slick over at 92.6 The Blitz. For more information, go to radiorocktheblitz.blogspot.com. That little neat you heard was my cell phone. I'm getting messages as I speak. Oh my God. Anyway. I go to Free America Radio on Facebook. Civil Liberties Union questions increasing use of costly military equipment by New Hampshire law enforcement. Ooh. Scroll on down, you'll see U.S. soldiers speak out against government and martial law. See, the soldiers know what's going on. How about you? I'm trying to enlighten you and help you understand this stuff. Okay?
Don't!
Now, I only do about an hour on this show, but like I said, it's going to change. The views expressed in the Wayne S. Pierce Show are going to change. We're going to combine the show, and you can be a part of the growth of this network. Free America Radio Network is growing. My two shows are combining, and I need your help. I'm not going to lie. If you're a writer, write articles. If you see things going on in your city, whatever it is, the state, send me an article. Write an article about it. Or if you have a video, send that too. I'd love to see it. I'd love to know what's going on in your area. I'll report on it too. If you have a video and you want to report for Free America Radio Network, just put a video together. Find something that's going on in your city that's outside of the norm. Martial law, that type of stuff. If you find the law enforcement increasingly getting military vehicles like most of them are across America, report on that. Just report on it and end it with, for Free America Radio, this is whatever your name is. I'd love to hear it. I'd love to see it. We need more networks like this. And if you don't want to do that, but you want to do a show, go to Spreaker.com. Spreaker.com, that's right. Scroll on down to the bottom. You'll see plans. And there's a plan there that'll fit your budget. And let me just throw this little side note in here. People that are playing music, like 2 hours of music and different artists and all this, that, and the other thing, by the way, for all you people on Spreaker doing that, ASCAP, BMI, and CSAC are all watching you. They're all watching you. It's not like they can come round you up, but Spreaker gurus behind the scenes, they're watching you. Okay? You don't pay for the publishing rights, there's going to be fines lodged against you up to $100,000 per violation of copyright law. And it's not just in the United States. Copyright law is international. Okay? I'm just saying. You better get the information correct. Because if you don't, you need all the things that you need to do a legitimate show with, permission to use that music. You better think about it. There's a lot of stuff out there in public domain. A lot of music out there in public domain. Go check that out. I'm looking for, a in-house musician right now. Can't pay you, but at least give some of your music an exposure. There's a lot of free music from artists here on Spreaker. When you go to the Explore page or search or whatever it may be, you go to latest on the Spreaker DJ console, you find a whole lot of music there. How about promoting those people? Nobody wants to use that. But I'm telling you, people who are playing music, like music shows and stuff, you people are on the edge. You people are on the edge, and I guarantee you're going to get popped at some point when you least expect it. I get my music from freeplaymusic.com. There's free music on there. Free music. Won't cost you a dime. I want to play Jay-Z. I don't want to play Eminem. Well, then you better go to their publishing company or go to their companies and find out if you can play it. There's a lot of unsigned bands out there. Why don't you play their stuff? Get them noticed. Anyway, enough of that. You can run your shows however you want, but when you get popped by the lawyers and by BMI and ASCAP and CSAC, then don't come crawling to me. I'm just going to look at you and say, I told you so. It's another warning, folks. Go to Free America Radio on Facebook. I'll give you a preview of what's coming up on the show. U.S. defense budget. It's bigger than Obama suggested. John Healy writes about that. More on that on the Views Express Live today. U.S. military spending greater than next 13 highest countries combined. Let's face it, the U.S. military has been turned into the NWO military. While soldiers sign up thinking they are fighting to defend the U.S., they are actually only fighting to expand NWO. The government-controlled media spreads the lies, and then country after country is attacked to overthrow their government and steal their resources, which go to the greedy banksters, Vatican, and British royals, all at the expense of U.S. taxpayers, the empire of the city, the Vatican, the Crown, and Washington, D.C. NWO. Go check it out. Also from freedomoutpost.com, or that article there that I just read is from actually articles.latimes.com. Yes. from freedomoutpost.com, CAIR, C-A-I-R, director. Muslims are above the law. No, they're not. They're in America. They better follow the law or pack their crap and get the hell out of my country. Now. You don't like it? No sweat off my nose. Bye. Have a nice day. Enjoy. Hope you liked your stay here, but now that you want us to follow Sharia law, get your ass out of here now. If you live somewhere, like a mobile home somewhere, pack it, jacket, and leave, because we don't want you here. This is America. We live under the Constitution. At least most freedom-loving Americans do. And we will defend that Constitution and the United States with everything that we have, including every drop of blood that we can muster up. And I guarantee you, they want to institute Sharia law in this country. I have 3 words for you. Lock and load. Now, I'm not calling for violence, but let me ask you a question. Somebody walks up to you and starts slapping you around and saying, you're going to like this because this is what I do. You're going to like this. You're going to do what I tell you to do. I'm slapping you around. You're going to... No. What's the first thing you're going to do when you get the opportunity? Oh, you're going to nail that SOB right between the eyes and knock his ass on the ground, aren't you? That's exactly what we need to do to anybody that comes over here that tries to undermine the Constitution, the freedoms, and the sovereignty that we have. Period. Don't like it? Bring it. Don't sing it. I'm tired of the BS coming out of Washington, D.C. I'm tired of the BS that these naysayers and skeptics and everybody that calls me and everybody else, oh, you're one of those conspiracy theories. You think everything is a conspiracy. No, I don't. I think you're a jackass. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I'm a realist. I see it for what it is. And if I have questions and if I have questions, I'm going to ask. That's just the way it is. You don't like this country, pack your ass and get out. Well, everybody has a freedom of speech, not the people that want to undermine the Constitution, they don't. Anybody that wants to come into my place and tell me how to live, that I have to undo everything that my founding fathers that founded this country 237 years ago, if they want me to undermine all that and go by their... No. Not going to happen. I'll tell you something right now, bottom line. And I'm going to take this from the greatest state in this United States. And I give all these people down in that one state all the honor to come up with this phrase. And I'm going to rephrase it and say this. Anybody that wants to come to this country to undermine the Constitution and bring us under some new world order Sharia law, don't mess with the U.S. You want to cause problems? You're going to meet your maker. I don't care who it is. Because you Muslims, you radical Muslims, I know your father, and your father is the father of lies. The prince of evil. The prince of the powers and the principalities. The devil. You don't like me talking that way? I don't care. Mr. Radical Muslim, Mr. Al-Qaeda, Al-CIA, I don't care. Pack your crap and get the hell out of my country now. What, am I inciting violence? No. I'm defending myself under the laws of the Constitution of the United States of America. I have a freedom of speech. I can say whatever I want. I have a freedom to carry my gun wherever I want. It's called the Second Amendment. And every state that tells me that I can't or has some sort of quote-unquote gun control law is in direct violation of the Constitution of the United States of America, specifically the Second Amendment. Got a problem with that? Take it up with God. Oh. I'm going into overdrive. I'll skip this break. Somebody says, you sound bitter. Somebody may ask me, well, you gotta calm down. You're pushing a lot of people away. You need to revamp your show. What, to make it more PC because you're just so tired? You don't, it hurts your pretty little ears? What, it insults your intellect and your intelligence? Listen up, wimpy little ass muncher. Yeah, I said it. You don't like it? Jack it, pack it, and leave. You don't like anybody disagreeing with you. I love people that disagree with me. Unfortunately, about 99% of the time, they don't have the information to back up what they're saying at all. And I look at them, I laugh. I go, well, you ain't got nothing to back it up. Bye, have a nice day. I'm not going to waste my time with your ignorance. It's just not going to happen. Am I perfect? No, by no means. Am I the smartest man in the world? No, I'm not. But I know enough to know you people, the naysayers, skeptics, radical Muslims, you people are definitely wrong in everything that you do. Okay? I'm just saying. Just putting it out there. You want to correct me? Go ahead. Hey, Free America Radio at USA.com. Free America Radio at USA.com. I don't know how I got off on that tangent. Maybe I'm just tired of people telling me I'm a liar. Maybe I'm just tired of people telling me I'm a conspiracy theorist when they have no evidence to back that up. Maybe I'm just tired of ignorance. Well, I should be, because I was raised by a family of well-educated people. And I was well-educated. Yeah, I get angry. To those who are listening and who are wanting freedom and liberty in this country and who are, on that side of the spectrum, if I offended anyone, I apologize. But to the naysayers, skeptics, and these radical Sharia law Muslim people, guess what? I don't care. Pack it. Go away now. Bye-bye. Go away now. You bother me. I don't know. Logic says that if 1 + 1 is 2 and somebody disagrees with that, wouldn't you want that other person to try to prove you wrong? I'm serious. I mean, if somebody came to you and told you things that you knew were blatant lies, wouldn't you want them to back up what they say? Logic, 1 + 1 is 2. Hello? How? It's not complicated. It's not freaking rocket science here, okay? Anyway, hey, I'm going to get out of here, folks. I'm going to give one more shout out to the one and only, the man with the face for radio, Mr. Brian Keller, over at Just BK. His show over at radiokahuna.com. Go check that out. Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 noon Eastern. Yes. Hey, send me some email. Hey, if you don't agree with me, that's fine. I please disagree with me. Fine. Email me. Free America Radio at USA.com. Free America Radio at USA.com. I don't know, folks. It's just getting crazy. Come join me on the Views Express Live, 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern, right here on Free America Radio Network. Go to freeamericaradio.weebly.com to listen to the show live, or right there on Spreaker.com/user/Free Liberty Radio. And join me in the chat room there as well. So have a great day. Have a great Thursday. I will return with the Wayne S. Pierce Show tomorrow at 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern, right there at the Wayne S. Pierce Show.weebly.com or again on Spreaker. Talk to you then. Have a great Thursday.